Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh wa salatu wa salam ala nabina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In this video, I want to address something very small on my opinion as a former Christian who was a follower of Christian who once said that Jesus is God. Okay, in this video, I want to give you an important information on how we misconcept on each other. Okay, let's say on my point of view, before I accept Islam, I never knew the difference between God, Jesus, and to come to Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I heard of him, but I never went deep to understand who was Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, let's come to the Christianity way view of Jesus and God. In Christianity, there is a lot of confusion. You will never understand who is God, who is Jesus. These people always ask from Jesus. They always say that Jesus is their intercessor. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says according to the Quran that he is supposed to be worshipped alone. He's supposed to be asked. Ask him and he will give you. But when we come to Christianity, they always think that they have to involve Jesus in their prayers and in everything they do to make sure that they are asking God. And they say that Jesus is the Son of God. No, I used to say Jesus is the Son of God. Of course, subhanallah. God doesn't give birth. God doesn't have children. God doesn't. He doesn't need us. He doesn't need us in any ways. Okay, let's come to the point of view of Muhammad. Muhammad was a prophet. I came to learn this after accepting Islam, that Muhammad was just a prophet. When I read some of these ayahs in the Quran, sometimes I feel like dripping. My tears come down without control because I feel that I was on the wrong side. After accepting Islam, I learned everything step by step. I wanted to know who was this prophet, only to realize that this prophet was the prophet that was given the book, the Quran. I came to realize that the Quran was not just words that was written down by prophet himself. These are the words that were brought down by angel Jibril, who was told to give it to Muhammad and tell him that to read and to give unto us. I came to realize that the way of Islam, those who follow the ways of the Prophet are those who are following the true ways. If you really follow the concept of Prophet Muhammad, you are on the right way. In my heart, I always feel that I'm carrying a heavy burden, a burden of being a Christian for all those days. How did I serve as a Christian for all those days when Islam was there guiding me to the right way? I always feel that people never understand, and these Christian people, if you give them the correct information about Jesus, about God, about the prophet, they will understand. For example, I came to realize that Prophet Muhammad was just a prophet like any other prophet. The Quran tells us, Amana Rasulu bima unzila ilayhi min rabbi wal mu'minun. Kullun amana billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusuli. لا نفرق بين أحد من رسل وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. This is a very strong message. If the Quran was only speaking of the Prophet Muhammad, this could be a biased information about the Quran. But look how many prophets have been mentioned in the Quran. A lot of prophets, and some of them have been given a higher opportunity and higher chance than even the Prophet himself. We can count how many times the Prophet has been mentioned in the Quran and count how many times other prophets have been mentioned in the Quran. This means that this Quran did not come from the Prophet himself. It was sent down by God himself. If it was a book that was given to him, if it was the book that was created by him by himself, at least he could have made himself the superior over himself. But look how Quran mentions Prophet Muhammad and compare it how it mentions other prophets. Other prophets have been given even more chances of mentioning in the Quran than Muhammad himself. How many times Jesus have been mentioned in the Quran? So many times. And to make matters more proper, look how there is an ayah, there is a surah, a full surah explaining the life of the mother of Jesus, Mary. The book of Maryam, the surah of Maryam is explaining everything. How comes people are not understanding this information? How comes people think that we are worshipping another God? How comes, people don't understand that Allah is God, Allah is one, Allah is the one to be worshipped. I hope this message will reach everyone. I hope this message will touch anyone who is thinking to becoming a Muslim. I want to confirm that Islam is the correct and righteous way of life only for those who are following the righteous way of the Prophet, those who are following the Sunnah, those who are following the Hadith, those who are following the Quran, the words sent down to the Prophet. If you follow those words, then you are a Muslim. How did I come to be a Muslim? How did I accept just from nowhere, in the middle of nowhere? I said, no, I want to be a Muslim. I just understand the word Islam. The word Islam simply means submission to one God. If I'm able to submit to my boss, why can't I submit to one who created me, the one who can terminate my life in any moment, the one who can say tomorrow you will not wake up and I will not wake up? That is Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You people have to understand, those people I'm talking about are the Christian, those people who argue about the Quran.